Unveiling King Solomon's Miraculous Secrets. 7 prophetic revelations of divine supernatural power. In a quaint English village, nestled between rolling hills, the air thrummed with a promise of divine revelation. Martha, a devoted single mother, kneeled before the candlelit statue of King Solomon, her heart heavy with worry for her son. David lay sick in their humble home, his restless breaths mingling with Martha's prayers. It was here, in the stillness of twilight, where heaven seemed to whisper secrets, where faith danced on the edge of despair. Suddenly, an aura of warmth enveloped the room. The candles flickered as if in answer, igniting the darkness. Martha felt it, a powerful wave of presence. "Lord," she cried, "I need a miracle." As her tears fell before Solomon's statue, an inexplicable light filled her vision. She saw him wise and majestic, his eyes glimmering with unearthly knowledge. "Martha," he spoke, his voice a soft echo, "seek the 7 secrets and your faith shall unlock the door to healing." With her spirit ignited, Martha took in the powerful message. Each secret flowed to her like a stream of living water, confronting her with truths that would shatter her world. The first spoke of unwavering belief, the second of sacrificial love. Secrets unfolded, dripping with the promise of divine power, each one a step towards healing not just David, but their entire community. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now let's continue. With hope ignited, Martha rushed to share her revelation. The village gathered, voices rising in prayer, hearts beating in unison. Yet doubt crept in with the arrival of the town skeptic, Mr. Collins, who questioned the authenticity of her miraculous encounter. "Look around," he challenged, shaking his head. "Where is God with a sick boy?" His words pierced like arrows, igniting silent murmurs among the crowd. In her desperation, Martha sought answers elsewhere, turning to a questionable remedy that only led to heartbreak. Dark clouds swirled within her spirit, shaking her faith. How could Solomon's secrets stand when faced with such despair? Whispers of division slid among the villagers, science versus faith tearing at the very fabric of their community. But as shadows cast their gloom, light began to break. A pulsing desire grew among the villagers, a collective yearning for divine intervention. They filled the square, voices lifted high in prayer, pleading for David's healing. The air thickened, pregnant with expectant silence. And then, in a moment of divine grace, there he was. David opened his eyes, color returning to his cheeks, laughter echoing against the cobblestones. Gasps of awe pulsed through the crowd. Hope ignited, knitting back together hearts once frayed. But as Martha's joy surged, so did the weight of the prophetic secrets. Each one lingered in her heart, raising questions that demanded answers. What did their revelation mean? How would they navigate the mysteries Solomon had gifted them? As the sun dipped below the horizon, casting golden rays over their village, the air shimmered with a divine mystery. Martha stood amidst the shimmering light, reflecting on the complexities of faith, knowing the journey had only just begun. As David's laughter echoed throughout the village, Martha felt a wave of relief wash over her. Yet beneath her joy lay a new urgency. The prophetic secrets whispered by Solomon weighed upon her like a sacred burden. What were the other revelations? What transformative power had they yet to uncover? That evening, as the stars dotted the vast expanse, Martha gathered the villagers once more. They stood together in the town square, their faces illuminated by flickering lanterns. A spirit of unity enveloped them, the air crackling with anticipation. "Gather close," she called, her voice rising above the rustling leaves. "Tonight, we unlock the secrets together." With David cradled in her arms, she felt infused with strength. Countless eyes were fixed on her, eager for enlightenment. Solomon revealed 7 divine secrets. She began, her heart pounding. The first was unwavering belief. We must hold tight to our faith, even when doubts attack. The villagers nodded, murmurs of agreement weaving through the crowd. This community had seen storms, both in nature and in spirit, and faith had always been their anchor. Martha pressed on. The second secret was sacrificial love, the essence of giving without expectation. We must love one another wholeheartedly. This love has a power to heal wounds deeper than any injury. As she spoke, the crowd began to hold hands, a tangible reminder of unity. That simple act ignited something in the air, a type of energy that hinted at miracles to come. Children giggled playfully, like angels frolicking on earth, while the elders closed their eyes, deep in reverent reflection. Inspired, Martha continued, "What if we, as a community, embraced these secrets? What if we began sharing in each other's burdens? What if we allowed love to flow freely, to ripple through our village like a mighty river?" Echoes of Amen floated up, almost like a soft choir resonating in the twilight. Martha felt emboldened, fueled by their enthusiasm. This was more than about David's healing now. This was about a collective awakening, a revival they had yet to fully grasp. Just as the note of hope climbed higher, Mr. Collins emerged from the shadows, his skepticism knitting his brow. "And what of the other secrets, Martha? Are we to ignore them or pick and choose?" A hush fell over the group, the air thickening with tension. Martha met his gaze, her heart racing. "No, Mr. Collins, we will explore them all together." Her voice rang with courage, as if fueled by the wisdom of Solomon himself. The third is humility. It reminds us that greatness comes not from forceful pride but from meekness. True strength blooms in serving others. Inspired murmurs filled the square again. But Collins remained unconvinced. And where will that lead us? On a path of disappointment? Martha's heart knew the answer, but the words felt heavy. Faith leads us not to disappointment, but to divine purpose. Perhaps the doubts you hold are shadows of a light yearning to break through. As she spoke, new stars twinkled brightly overhead, illuminating the faces of the villagers and reflecting their resolve. Could it be that what began as a single mother's desperate desire for healing would evolve into a community-wide revival? As the night deepened, the villagers began to pray together, a mingling of spirits rising like incense. Each gaze turned upward, igniting a fire of faith that had long been dormant. With every prayer, the weight of the remaining secrets felt a little lighter, promising revelations yet unseen. What awaited them as they delved deeper? Were they prepared for the divine truths that lay ahead? As Martha closed her eyes, wondering if she was truly ready to bear the burden of such deep knowledge, the air shifted again. What else would Solomon unveil? As the night air thickened with expectation, Martha felt a warmth envelop her, as if the divine itself lingered nearby, eager to share its wisdom. The villagers, now deeply attuned to the sacred moment, breathed in rhythm, a living testament to the hopes rising within their hearts. "Let us seek the fourth secret together," Martha urged, her voice steady but soft, carrying the weight of her calling. "It is the secret of gratitude, a powerful act that opens our hearts to joy and abundance." The sound of her voice danced in the night, encouraging the villagers to draw close. Gratitude was a familiar theme, yet the way she spoke it carried layers of insight yet to be uncovered. When we cultivate gratitude, we invite the light of heaven into our lives. It transforms our perspective and allows us to see blessings hidden in plain sight. In that moment, a child, wide-eyed and innocent, interrupted, "Like the flowers that bloom in summer, even when we forget them." Laughter rippled through the group, and Martha smiled brightly at the child. "Exactly. Just as the earth gifts us flowers, we must remember to thank the heavens for our daily miracles, be it a kind word, the sun's warmth, or a shared moment of laughter." The villagers nodded, eyes sparkling with understanding. A soft hum of gratitude began to sweep through the crowd, like waves crashing against the shore, lifting their spirits higher. Martha felt the energy shift again, urging her to press on. And the fifth secret, she continued, is hope. Hope is the anchor of our souls. It doesn't let us waver in moments of despair. Instead, it ignites the fire within us, pushing us forward. We must never give up hope, for it carries us through the darkest nights. As her words rang true, she saw David giggling in her arms, a pure sign of innocence and belief. The villagers around her responded with a collective yes that soared into the heavens, harmonizing with the rustling leaves. Each amen like a pebble dropped in a still pond, sending ripples of faith throughout the gathered souls. Martha's heart brimmed with joy, but as she prepared to unveil the sixth secret, a shadow seemed to flicker in her mind. It is faithfulness, she stated, her voice steadying in determination, shifting her thoughts to scriptures that felt like home. In every relationship, in our service to the community, we must be steadfast. Faithfulness doesn't only bless us, but creates an unbreakable bond among us. The crowd seemed to lean forward, eager to grasp this truth deeper. Martha could feel Mr. Collins' cautious gaze still upon her. Yet the weight of his skepticism had softened, ever so slightly. Can we embody these secrets, dear friends? She asked, her heart beating in anticipation. Can we stand together, unwavering, faithful to each other, and to the divine? An echo of affirmation rippled through the square, as voices joined in a chorus filled with heartfelt conviction. She stepped back, sensing a divine energy swelling around them. Waiting eagerly for the last secret to emerge, she prepared to reveal the final secret. A gust of wind swept through the crowd, rustling the lanterns and casting flickering shadows over their illuminated faces. The moment hung in the air, suspended like time itself. She closed her eyes, inviting the spirit to guide her. What was the last secret? What divine revelation would emerge? The villagers held their breath, hearts united in harmony. In that pregnant silence, something magical clicked in the air. A divine whisper that begged to be shared. Would they be ready for it? What would that final secret awaken in their souls? As the shadows danced around them, an aura of anticipation filled the night. What awaited them when the ultimate truth was revealed? What transformation could change their lives forever? Martha took a moment, her heart swelling with the collective anticipation of the villagers. She felt the weight of their faith resting upon her shoulders, and with a deep breath, she opened her eyes. The light of the lanterns flickered like stars, each one a beacon of hope. The final secret, she began, her voice steady yet trembling with the sacredness of the moment, is love. Love is the greatest force in the universe. It surpasses all understanding, healing the wounds we cannot see. She paused, letting the words settle. It is through love that we connect with the divine and with one another. Love is the greatest commandment, and when we embody it, we are transformed. Our hearts become vessels of grace. A hush fell over the crowd. Gasps of revelation danced among them as the truth of her words seeped into their souls. Think of how love has buoyed you in times of trouble, she continued. Love is what makes us reach for one another when storms of life threaten to overwhelm. Just as a lighthouse guides lost ships to shore, so love can guide us through any darkness we face. She could see the villagers absorbing this, their expressions shifting from contemplation to joy. Some clasped hands, while others exchanged glances that spoke volumes of a deeper understanding unfolding. The child from before piped up again. Like how my mother hugs me when I'm scared? Exactly, Martha exclaimed, her heart dancing at the innocent wisdom. Those hugs are love wrapped in warmth, a glimpse of the divine kindness that invites us to be brave. Mr. Collins, the once skeptical villager, was now leaning forward, his eyes shining with tears. Martha, he called softly, how do we keep this love alive in our hearts and homes? She smiled, encouraged by his transformation. By practicing it daily, in kindness to our neighbors, in forgiveness for those who hurt us, in laughter shared and tears comforted. Love is alive when we choose to express it. Each moment we act in love, we create a sacred space where the presence of God can dwell. Around them, murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. The energy shifted once more, now infused with a powerful sense of unity. The villagers began to join in softly singing a hymn of love, their voices lifting up together in a beautiful tapestry of sound as the melody wrapped around them like a warm blanket. Martha felt the divine presence strengthen. She envisioned the village transformed, each individualist love cascading into the community, creating a magnificent wave of warmth and light, a reflection of the divine love flowing through them all. But as she closed her eyes again, a whisper echoed in her heart, urging her to open herself even further to divine inspiration. She felt a stirring, as if something magnificent was beginning to come forth, something that would challenge and inspire them. Prepare yourselves, dear friends. This revelation we embrace will come with a calling. We are to be not just receivers of love but vessels of God's mission in the world. As her words drifted into the air, a sudden hush fell over the assembly once more. The luminous moon above seemed to grow brighter, bathing the square in silver light. What would this calling require of them? Would they be ready to share this love beyond the borders of their village? The promise of transformation awaited, stirring within them like a gentle breeze, ethereal, divine, and filled with mystery. What lay ahead for Martha and the villagers as they embarked on this sacred journey? What divine purpose awaited them at the horizon? The air crackled with palpable anticipation, and the villagers, moved by Martha's words, began to lean towards one another, face to face, heart to heart. The moonlight deepened the hues of their emotions, hope glimmered in their eyes, and wonder filled their souls. Martha raised her arms, feeling a shift in the atmosphere, a powerful current of divine energy circulating among them. In the embrace of love, we are not just a bunch of individuals. We become a family, community, a body of believers called to step out. Her voice rang with conviction. A murmur went through the crowd, and faith ignited anew in their hearts. Cora, a beloved elder with silver hair like ethereal wisps, added, "But Martha, what does it mean to be vessels of this love? How do we step out?" Martha smiled at the wisdom shining in Cora's eyes. "It means sharing our love where it's needed most. It's in the simple kindness, the thoughtful gestures. We find ways to shine love into the lives of those in darkness, like reaching out to the lost." Another voice chimed in, a young man named Thomas. "Yes," Martha exclaimed, her heart soaring with every word, like being a listening ear to someone in grief, or a helping hand to a neighbor in need. Each act of love creates ripples through our village and beyond. It's that ripple that the world needs to see. Suddenly, the clarity of the moment broke like a soft dawn, and Martha could see flashes of their future villagers helping one another, children laughing, families gathering in joy, and strangers welcomed like kin. Her voice became softer. When we love as God loves, we break barriers. We heal hearts. Our love becomes the language the world understands. Mr. Collins wiped tears from his cheek. But what if we don't know how? What if we're afraid? Martha felt the warmth of encouragement flowing from her towards him. That's natural. Fear can often creep in. But remember, love drives out fear. When we fill ourselves with love, fear diminishes. And you know what? Fear is a part of the journey. It teaches us to reach deeper into our faith. At this, a wave of agreement bubbled among the crowd, nods and murmurs affirming the truth unfolding before them. Martha felt an unyielding fire ignite within, stirring her soul to new heights. "Let us not fight this calling," she urged, her voice growing more fervent. "Let us gather our hearts, open our homes, and share this miraculous love with those outside our village. A work of God's hands flows through us. We are the conduits of that power." The villagers began to grasp the enormity of her message, their spirits awakened like blossoms under the sun. But in a flash, Martha sensed something vast looming ahead, an unseen challenge that would bind them together even further. As if reading her mind, Cora whispered, "What awaits us, dear Martha? A new dawn, what will it bring?" That Martha breathed deeply remains to be seen. The path forward is shrouded in divine mystery. We must prepare our hearts, for the world is waiting. A gentle wind began to pick up, sending chills of both excitement and fear through the gathering. The lanterns flickered wildly, dancing to a rhythm only the divine could orchestrate. With every heartbeat, A question lingered in the air. Were they ready to step into the unknown, to undertake a journey fueled by divine destiny? The night held endless possibilities, and the villagers could almost hear the faint call of purpose beckoning them forward. What challenges awaited Martha and her friends? What miracles would unfold as they answered the call of love? The silver moon above glowed brighter, as if hinting at the answer. As the winds danced around the gathered villagers, Martha's heart raced with promise and dread. What lay ahead? The flickering lanterns reflected in her eyes, casting shadows that seemed to whisper secrets only the night understood. She gazed across the familiar faces, each one a mixture of hope and trepidation. "Look around," she instructed softly, motioning towards the villagers. "Part of our journey is the strength we have in unity. Each of us holds a piece of the puzzle, and it's only when we come together that we can form the complete picture." There was a hush, a stillness, as everyone contemplated her words. Then, suddenly, a distant sound broke through the calm clattering hooves, the rustle of fabric, and whispers that carried on the wind. The villagers turned their heads, eyes wide in curiosity. A rider approached, cloaked in shadows, yet illuminated by the ethereal glow of the moon. It was as if Providence had sent an angel in the night. The figure dismounted and stepped into the circle of light. It was a traveler, weary yet radiant, eyes shining with the wisdom of the ages. "Greetings," he called out, his voice resonating with a melody of peace. "I am Eliar. I come bearing a message, a revelation from far beyond your village." Martha stepped forward, heart thrumming with anticipation. "What do you bring to us, traveler?" "Your hearts have been awakened to love," Eliar began, "and the world is responding. Yet know this: every noble endeavor will encounter trials. You will face storms that seek to shake your faith. But listen, what you sow in love will yield a harvest not just for you, but for countless others." Awestruck whispers brushed through the crowd. The traveler's words bore an unearthly weight, stirring something deep within every heart present. Eliar continued, "There are 7 prophetic revelations that I must share. They speak of divine hope, healing, and the miraculous power that dwells within each of you." Martha felt a spark of excitement. "Please, tell us more." "The first revelation is this," Eliar said, raising a hand to the heavens. "When you gather in love, the heavens open. Your prayers are like incense, drifting to the throne of grace. Expect the miraculous." Murmurs of reverence mingled with the evening breeze. Martha could feel the stirring of expectancy weaving through the congregation. They hung on every word, hearts aligned, souls ignited. "The second," he continued, "is that transformation often comes through brokenness. Just as seeds must crack to give life, so will your tribulations give birth to glory. Embrace the challenges, for they are your teachers." A wave of understanding washed over the villagers. Mr. Collins, still emotional from the earlier discussion, wiped his tears once more, but now they shimmered with hope, not despair. "The third," Eliar pressed on, "is that healing flows through selfless love. You are called to be conduits of this powerful force, bringing the broken back to wholeness. Remember, your acts of kindness can alter destinies." Martha's heart soared. She could envision every person around her stepping into this calling, becoming instruments of divine healing in their community. With each revelation shared, the night glowed brighter, shadows retreating as hope ascended to new heights. She could sense the strength within each villager, building a tapestry of faith and love weaving together. As Eliar prepared to reveal the 4th revelation, the winds shifted again, and a swell of apprehension rose. What shall we do to maintain this love, this unity, in the face of trials? What if we falter? Eliar paused, his gaze piercing through to Martha. That is the core of the journey. Only by surrendering to divine love can you weather any storm. As anticipation thickened in the air, the villagers leaned in, hungry for answers, hungry for the promise of what was to come. Martha felt the weight of their expectations, their gaze like a flickering candle in the dark. What would Eliar reveal next? And what challenges would they face when the love they carried was put to the test? The night was alive with unanswered questions, and the air shimmered with the promise of an unfolding miracle. Eliur took a deep breath, gathering the atmosphere of longing and hope that surrounded them. His voice softened, becoming a gentle breeze that kissed their anxious hearts. The fourth revelation reminds you that true strength lies in vulnerability. Lay down your walls, for it is in your weaknesses that divine power is displayed most profoundly. In your shared humanity, you'll find the echoes of each other's struggles. The villagers nodded, slowly absorbing the truth. Martha glanced at Naomi, her closest friend, who had faced more than her share of struggles. Tears glistened in Naomi's eyes, but they were no longer tears of sorrow. They were tears of understanding, the kind that birthed connection. The fifth revelation, Eliur continued, is that gratitude transforms perception. Look around and count your blessings. Every acknowledgement of grace acts as a key, unlocking doors to abundance. When you shift your focus from scarcity to thankfulness, you will witness miracles unfold in your midst. Martha felt warmth radiate from within. She thought of all they had: the laughter of children, the strength of unity, and the beauty in forgiveness. A ripple of soft murmurs rose, as if each villager began to take stock of their own blessings, reaffirming the bond that tied them together. Now, for the sixth revelation, Eliur said, his voice lifting in intensity, is that faith speaks even in silence. In times of uncertainty, it is not your noisy pleas that draw the divine near, but the quiet trust that resides in your heart. Embrace the peace that comes with knowing that God works for you, even when you cannot see or understand. Silence is not absence. It is presence. A hush fell over the crowd, reverence enveloping them like a warm embrace. Martha's thoughts drifted to her own struggles. There were moments of unanswered prayers that had tested her spirit. Yet, she felt a swell of comfort in Eliur's words. Faith in silence was a call to trust, not an empty waiting, but a confident resting in divine purpose. The seventh and final revelation, Eliur declared, raising his arms to the heavens once more, is that love is not merely a feeling. It is an action. Love lived out is the greatest miracle of all. In your everyday lives, go beyond sentiments. Show love in tangible ways, from sharing bread with the hungry to comforting those who mourn. This love will illuminate the darkest spaces and draw others towards the light. As Eliur spoke, the villagers began to exchange glances, their spirits ignited with a shared purpose. Martha could see the visions taking shape, each person finding a unique way to express this divine love, stitching together a quilt of miracles for their community. Just then, the winds picked up again, swirling around them with a newfound energy. Martha was filled with a sense of urgency as she spoke out. But how do we begin to act upon these revelations? What small steps shall we take to manifest this love? Eliur smiled, the moonlight catching the glimmer in his eyes. Every great journey starts with a single step. Martha, map out the love each day, one act at a time. You will be surprised where the path leads. Your faith will make the way clearer. As excitement pulsed through the circle, Martha felt drawn into the heart of their mission. The night felt fuller, charged with the possibilities ahead. Yet, deep inside, a question lingered: could their love remain steadfast amidst unforeseen trials? The night was still, a blend of hope and unanswered wonder, and Eliur's presence rang prophetic in the air. But what paths lay hidden within their hearts, waiting to be unearthed? And would the love they now sought to embody be enough to weather the storms on the horizon? A stillness embraced the village as Eliur's voice hung in the air, swirling with the energy of possibility. Every villager felt a tugging in their hearts, an awakening stirring within them as they contemplated the revelations that had poured forth like rain upon thirsty soil. Martha, Naomi's whisper was urgent, her eyes wide. What do you think we should do? I felt lost for so long. What if I can't do this? Martha placed a reassuring hand on Naomi's shoulder, grounding them both. Do not fear, she replied softly. All we need to do is begin. Let us take one small step together. The moon illuminated their faces, revealing a tapestry of emotion. Other villagers started to share their thoughts, igniting a chorus of ideas. Eliur watched the blossoming dialogue, the glow of hope reflecting back from their upturned faces. The night had morphed from a hush into a symphony of voices exchanging dreams. "Let us begin with a meal," suggested an older woman named Elsie, her voice trembling but gaining steadiness. "We can open our homes, invite anyone who is hungry or weary. Let them come and eat." A hum of agreement spread through the crowd. The spark lit brighter as they realized they could share love in the simplest of forms. Hands flew up. Others contributed their thoughts. "I will gather flowers for the sick," young Caleb exclaimed, the innocent exuberance in his words capturing everyone's hearts. He had often picked wildflowers, but now they would carry purpose. "What about the children?" chimed in another villager. "We can hold a story night. Share tales that inspire love and unity." Martha's heart swelled with joy. It was in these small acts, these threads woven with care, that she could feel the fabric of their community growing tighter. The love they sought to share was starting to manifest before them. Elier watched each revelation grow, a heavenly light seeming to glow around them. "Let love ripple through your actions," he said, "and witness the impact you can make on the world around you. For within every small gesture lies the potential for greater miracles." Inspired, Martha addressed the crowd. "Each of us has something to bring. Don't hold back your love. Let it flow freely. Tonight, let us make a promise. We will commit to revealing these acts of love over the coming days. Let us support one another." Excited faces nodded, murmurs affirming Martha's words. Hearts were being emboldened to dream together. But an edge of apprehension still lingered. What indeed would the future hold? Could they maintain this momentum? As the villagers began making plans, the wind shifted again, carrying with it a chill that whispered of change. Suddenly, a flicker of light appeared in the distance, almost like a beacon. "Martha, look," Naomi pointed. "What is that?" All eyes turned to the horizon where a shimmering glow danced among the treetops, pulsating softly. It was not like the moon or stars, both so familiar and constant. There was something extraordinary about this light, alive with potential and promise. Might it be a sign? Someone wondered aloud, the question hanging in the air as they all recognized the significance. The excitement shifted. Hopes blossomed, yet concern brewed beneath. Was this light an invitation or a challenge? What would they uncover as they stepped into this new path filled with love? As they stood united in their resolve, an answer hung like ripened fruit, just out of reach what awaited them on the edge of the woods. Would embracing this calling lead them toward the divine revelations they longed for, or transform into a test of their newfound faith? The villagers stood transfixed, the shimmering light captivating their senses as it danced on the horizon. Each heart thudded with anticipation, a rhythm harmonizing with the energy that surrounded them. Elier stepped closer, his expression a mixture of awe and determination. "What do you see?" he asked calmly, his voice carrying a soothing assurance. "It feels alive," murmured Martha, her eyes reflecting the glow, "like it's calling to us, beckoning us to venture forth into the unknown." The air grew thick with uncertainty, yet an undeniable thrill coursed through the group. It was as if the very essence of their dreams had manifested into this ethereal glow. "Let us approach," encouraged Caleb, bringing his small hands together with hopeful excitement. "We'll discover what lies beyond." One by one, they began to move, stepping into the darkness with the light as their guide. Each villager felt the warmth of community blooming around them, an ever-present reminder that they were not alone. As they crossed the threshold of the trees, whispers of the wind rustled through the leaves, spinning tales of past wonders and promising sanctity. The light pulsed playfully, leading them further into the depths of the woods, illuminating the path ahead. "What if it's a test?" Naomi pondered aloud, anxiety seeping into her voice. "What if we're not ready for what we find?" "It is in our moments of uncertainty that faith truly shines," Elier responded, his eyes filled with compassion. "We must embrace our fears. They are part of the journey." Martha nodded, drawing strength from those around her. "Together we will step boldly forward. What we discover may be the essence of our story, a chapter yet unwritten." The path curved, revealing elongated shadows that danced under the moon's silver light. Among the trees, the glow transformed into myriad colors: greens, blues, and golds blending seamlessly, creating a view that felt both surreal and sacred. Suddenly, the villagers stopped, gasping collectively at the sight before them. A hidden glade unfolded, radiant flowers bursting with luminescent hues. In the center laid an ancient stone altar, inscribed with symbols they couldn't decipher. Yet the energy that emanated felt ancestral, powerful. "It reminds me of the stories my grandmother told," said Elsie, her voice shaky with emotion, "of a time when divine truths were revealed through light and love. Could this be a sacred place?" Martha stepped forward, compelled by an invisible force. She gently placed her palm on the cool stone, and the moment she connected, a rush of warmth flowed through her, filling her heart with inexplicable peace. "Look," Naomi pointed at the brilliance growing above them. "The light, it's coming from the altar." As the villagers drew closer, they found themselves enveloped in a divine presence, the glow radiating not only light but love, acceptance, and purpose. They felt seen, acknowledged by something greater than their understanding, drawing them into a beckoning embrace. "What does it want from us?" Caleb whispered in awe, eyes wide as he took everything in. Elier tilted his head, listening intently to the unspoken words of the glade. "It may ask us to unveil within ourselves the love we've promised to share. Every act, every decision, builds our relationship with Goddess' wondrous tapestry." Suddenly, the light pulsed more fiercely, and the ground trembled slightly beneath their feet. Was it a sign of acceptance, or a challenge to deepen their faith? With hearts racing, they exchanged glances filled with determination and wonder. What secrets lay ahead? What mysteries would they decipher, not only of the light but of their own spirits? With newfound resolve, they realized this moment was not just about illuminating their path but about igniting their souls to embrace their divinely woven destinies as they prepared to delve deeper into the unknown. A question laced the air with anticipation. What if this was the beginning of a profound awakening, one that would transform their lives and the lives of all they touched? As dawn began to break upon the glade, the sun infused a golden hue into the vibrant blooms. It felt as if all of creation had awakened, harmonizing with the powerful revelations swirling around Martha and her community. The light from the altar pulsed gently, filling each heart with a profound sense of divine purpose. "Here we are, gathered in faith," Martha whispered, her voice trembling with the weight of the moment. "The love we've discovered must now lead us into action. We are called to be vessels of this divine presence." The villagers, eyes wide with wonder, nodded in unison. They could feel the atmosphere thick with expectation. Caleb, bold and bright-eyed, stepped forward to touch the altar. As he did, the symbols ingrained in the stone shimmered, revealing miraculous tales of unity, love, and divine connection that stretched across time. "The stories are in the stones," he exclaimed, awe illuminating his face. "Exactly," Martha beamed. "We are meant to write our own story, one built on the secret Solomon revealed, and now on what the light has guided us to understand." Elier watched the villagers, sensing each soul awakening to their calling. "Embrace who you are created to be. Each act of love, no matter how small, sends ripples through these woods and beyond. Your purpose is being woven together." As they all gathered closer, the songs of birds filled the air like a heavenly choir echoing the stirring of their spirits. While each heart carried apprehension and anticipation, Martha realized they were ready to commit to a journey that stretched beyond their village, to impact lives that were longing for light. "Let us share our stories with the world," she proposed. "Let us create a tapestry of love that will overflow into our homes, to our neighbors, and even those who venture through these woods seeking hope." From the crowd, voices rose in agreement, each sharing aspirations of how they would illuminate lives. "We will host meals for the lonely," Cora declared, her voice ringing with strength. "And gather toys for children in need," suggested Caleb, filled with youthful enthusiasm. Martha smiled, her heart swelling with pride. Every individual had a part to play. Their unity transformed into a powerful force, one that could move mountains. "This is just the beginning," she cried, her voice rising above the morning chorus. "Our love ignited today will unlock doors to new adventures. We will become messengers of divine love." As the villagers began to leave the glade, their hearts sparking with excitement, Elier called out one last time, "Your journey will not be without trials. But remember that every challenge you face refines you. Be zealous in love and steadfast in faith, and you will find God walking beside you." The villagers exchanged deep glances filled with understanding. Together, they stepped out of the glade hand in hand, the glimmering light now a part of them. Each footfall echoing that they were destined to carry forth the weight of the revelations into the world, a chain of love that couldn't and wouldn't be broken. As they emerged from the woods, a new dawn painted the sky in shades of hope. Martha perceived the world reborn in love. Their hearts beat harmoniously. Love, unity, and faith intertwined. What would come next? "I'm ready," she whispered to the wind, inviting divine presence to guide their steps. The morning light glimmered across the village like an anointing. Old wounds began to heal, and the echoes of their shared love made way for brighter tomorrows. They would support each other, grow in faith, and together embody the very essence of love. Martha looked out at her friends, everyone transformed. No longer just a single mother praying for her son, she became a beacon of hope. As they took that first step together into their new journey, a beautiful truth settled within them. They were truly one, and as the villagers embraced their calling with open arms, love would resound and flourish, weaving them into a narrative too powerful to ignore. A saga of healing, purpose, and transformation, one that would echo through the ages. Now, dear beloved community, if you felt the story stir something deep within you, if you believe in the miraculous power of love and faith, then act. You need to subscribe now to catch every exclusive and inspiring faith story that unfolds. To keep this light alive, leave a like now to feed the algorithm, ensuring that love shines through and reaches those who need it the most. Comment your reactions and testimonies about the ending. Share how this story impacts your faith journey, for it is in sharing that we grow. And share instantly this video with at least 5 friends who need to witness this manifestation of divine love. Don't wait even one more second, because only true servants of God understand the urgency to share the light. Together, let us keep this beautiful faith community strong, spreading love and revealing the divine miracles that await us.